Good morning again, 6th of April, Wednesday. I want to talk with you about the militia. Without the militias, there is no self-rule. There can be no self-rule. There will be no return to self-rule without well-organized militias. Get my handy copy of the Constitution, and I'm going to turn to this thing. What we need to do, Amendment 2, a well-regulated militia, and when militia is capitalized, being necessary to the security of a free state. S on state is capitalized. The right of the people to keep and bear arms, arms is capitalized, shall not be infringed. Now, we've been deprived of our militias since the Dick Act of 1902. Yeah, they put the dick to us. It's also called the Militia Efficiency Act of 1902. And we got suckered into that because people thought, well, it guarantees that we'll never be deprived of our Second Amendment. Bull. Stupid people. Second Amendment says that right there. Second Amendment. Right there. We didn't need to pass that Dick Act. A lot of professional fellows, a lot of fellows that have been in the military like that act, but I don't like it very much. I don't like it at all. So a well-regulated militia just means the people's militia. So you need to understand the militias were both state and private. Quite often they were just a group of friends that got together. As far as the state militia goes, in the original 13 colonies, you'll find that the state constitutions had the militia specified in those. Those were typically, they were specified as part of the state constitution. It was usually every able-bodied man and above the age of, and it varied from state to state. Generally speaking, they modeled the requirements after the biblical standards of ancient Israel, which was 20 years of age, you were part of the militia. And of course, if you'd just been newly married, you got the year off. But every man was a member of the militia. And also in our colonies, we actually had laws requiring you to have a rifle, a long rifle, a pistol, a short sword, and so many rounds of ammunition, so much ball, so much powder. I think it was 200 rounds of ammunition is what they required. Today I think you ought to get about 2 cases. And we supplied that stuff ourselves. The government didn't supply that to us. We had our own arms. And so they couldn't be infringed. And some guys actually had cannon. Some guys actually had automatics. The pickle gun. There were some versions of that available back then. We had whatever we could build or somebody else could make for us. This is the only time in the entire Constitution when the word necessary is mentioned. Being necessary. It's necessary. Not even the president is necessary. The Congress certainly isn't mentioned as necessary, and that Supreme Court definitely isn't necessary. The right of the people to keep and bear arms. Well, you all got a lot of laws infringing the rights these days, and they all need to go away. Not only that, you got taxes on arms, taxes on ammunition. You've got hidden taxes, 11% for the Whitney Bulls. I think that's what it was called. It was an act for conservation. Oh, it was a good cause. So for the sake of a good cause, we'll tax ourselves. No, that even needs to be removed. There should be no sales tax because that's an infringement upon guns and ammunition. There shouldn't be a sales tax on that stuff. I wish you folks would get it through the heads of your locals and through your governors. You can't tax them. That's an infringement. Same with the tax stamps that the ATF requires. Those are infringements. As a matter of fact, that was done under fraud. And the damages are treble. So every tax stamp, which is $200, should be refunded in full at triple the amount. I want to see that day. I want to live to see that day. These people are going to have a hard lesson to learn. But we're going to have an even harder lesson to learn if we don't take things back. Now, I'm going to have to do a little bit more reading of the Constitution myself. What I want to get across to you is that there were two tasks in the Constitution for the militia. And the first one was to quell insurrections. And you talk about those Black Lives Matter, that was an insurrection. Talk about whatever that stuff was before that trashed up places. I don't even remember what that was, but that was an insurrection as well. And the second thing is to defend the borders. There are so many men in the border states that would flock to the borders, and the government wouldn't have to fund one thing. They wouldn't have to pay for any firearms. They wouldn't have to pay for ammunition, although I think it would be really nice if they gave us some ammunition. But they also need to restore us to having full military arms, the proper arms. Even Barack Obama said we needed to have a military presence as big or bigger than the army inside. We just need to be free again. We need self-rule. We need the militias back. We need them badly. If we had the militias, we could repel the invaders at the border this next time, and they're going to be coming over in big waves. Our current administration has to let them through because they're going to provide the cover for the next set of diseases that are going to be released by these things that all of you all accepted in a foolish basis. They all have payloads in there. They've got, and Marburg's one of them, according to an attorney that is suing the federal government right now on the behalf of a couple of enlisted men regarding refusing to take what is wrongfully considered a vaccination. They changed the definition of a vaccine just so they could put this new treatment out there, which means to me that it's fraud. And when you have fraud, there are no protections. It all goes away. And 1987 Vaccine Injury Act, that doesn't apply. Anybody injured under this new treatment can go to court, can redress their grievances, can sue Big Pharma for the deaths or for their incapacitation or the needs to be taken care of for the rest of their life, their permanent disabilities, any injury. And they should be sued. And remember, their headquarters are in the Ukraine, in Kiev, for a reason. I wonder what that is. Good day.